I'd like to apologize in advance to all of you that the corporate press is running this narrative again because I'm pretty sure nobody cares. The story is that Pete Hegseth has shared details of an attack again in a Signal chat. And now I largely think this is a non-story. I don't think it's that there's literally nothing wrong with what they did. I just think it has little to no impact on anything going on that we should be caring about. Let me give you the gist of the story for those of you mostly know about Signalgate because the corporate press would not shut up about it. They accidentally added a journalist into a chat they were using on Signal where they were discussing some minor details relating to an attack on Yemen. I say minor details because there were details, excuse me, but it wasn't like they were naming people or anything like that. It was, we're going to be doing this strike. We've got these vehicles. Here's why we're doing it. And I thought it was kind of a weird message anyway, because they didn't use shorthand and they were saying very vanilla things about their views. So be it. It shouldn't have happened. Fine. But what's the worst case scenario in this Signalgate story? Listen, if somebody's driving a car and they spill a hot coffee and they hit an old lady and the old lady dies, you're getting in trouble, right? That person's going to get in trouble. We get it. It was bad. It was an accident, but it's still bad. You're in trouble. If you're driving your car and you spill a hot coffee and you swerve and then pull over and nobody gets hurt, you probably won't even get a ticket. Cop sees it, he might say, hey, what happened? He says, I spilled my coffee. Say, well, don't do it again. Barely a penalty. And that's the point. Signalgate had no deep ramifications, and they ran this story ad nauseum. And now they're trying to reignite the stupid story again, which is largely meaningless. Now, there's a minor detail in it. Here's how I say it. If I was going to be talking about DOD operations or whatever, we would never run a story about this like, oh my God, I can't believe Pete Hegseth did this. We'd passively mention it like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do it, but they've got nothing on this guy. And if the best thing can muster up is that he texted some people and he maybe shouldn't have, but nothing bad happened, then I think we got a pretty good SecDef. Here's a story from the New York Times. They say Hegseth said to have shared attack details in second Signal chat. Oh, heavens me. They're going to mention that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared detailed information about forthcoming strikes in Yemen on March 15th in a private Signal group chat that included his wife, brother, and personal lawyer, according to 4 people with knowledge of the chat. I wonder if the 4 people with knowledge of the chat include any of the individuals who were recently fired. Top DOD officials under Hegseth fired amid leak probe. Indeed. They say, what was it, 2? They say DOD officials under Secretary Hegseth, who were previously placed on administrative leave, have been fired. The DOD has faced heavy scrutiny recently after Hegseth and other top Trump cabinet officials engaged in a Signal group chat, which included a journalist discussing imminent war plans. I would say attack plans because there's no war, but you're picking hairs. Signal is an encrypted app. We know this. Hegseth has repeatedly rebuked the initial report from Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about it. They were discussing their views on a military strike. We're using war in this regard in a semantic argument. That is, do they mean war as in we're in an active war and these are the plans to carry out during that war? Or was it attack plans on a target? In which case, some people would say that's war. And then they try and say, no, not war because we didn't declare it. Well, we get, like, it's silly. Attack plans, war plans, a pointless distinction, in my opinion. Like, in some contexts, it maybe does make sense. If we've got plans to declare war and that gets leaked out, that's very, very bad. If we're in an active conflict already that should be declared as a war but isn't, then we get it. The bigger issue here is that who cares? That's the bigger issue, I guess. This is the, hey, don't get mad at me. It's like the biggest story in the country, apparently. I mean, the Pope passed away, rest in peace. This is like the second or third biggest story. Mr. Hegseth's wife, Jennifer, a former Fox News producer, is not a Defense Department employee, but has traveled with him overseas. They say that his brother Phil and Tim Parlatore, who continue to serve as his personal lawyer, both have jobs in the Pentagon. But it's not clear why either would need to know about upcoming military strikes aimed at Houthis in Yemen. Because the story may be fake. That's the point. They're trying to drum up a reason to get rid of Pete Hegseth, and this story may be bunk nonsense. Here we have 4 anonymous individuals. Why should I believe the New York Times on anything? Okay? If the New York Times comes out and says, here's a video of thing happening, I say, okay. If they come out and they say, here's a quote from a guy, I say, okay. Now, that video may be out of context, and that quote may be out of context too. But when they come out and they say, some anonymous people have made a claim, I go, oh, yeah? Okay, well, I'll tell you this. Some anonymous people have claimed to me that Nancy Pelosi was engaged in illegal felony insider trading and is a drunk. Anonymous sources. I wonder who they may be. I don't know. It was some guy on X. His name was, Jim Bob 5936123. He's an anonymous source. Like, am I supposed to consider that? This is why I don't trust anonymous sources. Because I kid you not, I could say something like, Nancy Pelosi is a drug-abusing deviant who kicked a dog, according to a source close to her office. And the close to her office is the homeless guy who sits behind it. Hey, I said he was close to her office, and he's an anonymous source. But you try to trick people into thinking that this person has some kind of insider knowledge. They said, according to 4 people with knowledge of the chat. What does that mean? Knowledge of the chat could be they saw briefly, or Pete Hegseth went, yeah, I'm in a group chat with my wife. And they go, oh, I bet he's talking about war plans. Let's report that to the New York Times. Who cares? Okay. The bigger questions we have going on in this country are the state of illegal immigration, the state of mass deportation. The questions are, why are we engaging in strikes against a country we're not at war with? Or how about this one? Why are they using Signal at all? These are public records that should not be disappeared. Now, I got to say, if you think that they're retaining all their records, I don't care if it's Trump, Hillary, or Biden, or whoever else, I got a bridge to sell you. They're going to mention that the chat revealed by Atlantic, oh, blah, blah, blah. The Signalgate. Man, I got to be honest, guys. I do not want to do this story, okay? Because I doubt anybody even actually cares about it. But apparently it is a top trending story, and they're trying to fire. They want to get him fired. Rumors are popping up in the corporate press that Hegseth is in trouble, that the DOD is in chaos, and Trump wants to fire him. And I really doubt it. Trump fought really hard for this guy. There were easier picks, but this is the guy that Trump wanted. So, of course, they're going to try and run these stories to force Trump's hand. I don't see it ever getting anywhere. Here's why they do what they do, my friends. Hope you're paying attention to this one. They want to create public pressure to damage squishy Republicans. So what they want with the Abrego Garcia story, the mass deportation story in this, is so that when a Republican goes to his constituents and says, we are doing good, we are literally we're doing good and we're doing it well, right? See, I did that on purpose. The constituents go, yeah, but Hegseth, it's a Signal chat. They want people to be angry for nonsensical reasons, which is the annoying thing about the Democrats. It's funny when I see Democrats running these narratives where they're saying things like, Trump is he deported a Maryland father, and you're as annoyed as I am. Because I see my friends post this stuff, and I'm like, that's not true. It's not true. The scary thing is they think what we're saying is not true, but we're actually posting the court documents, and they're lying. So what I can say about Signalgate, it's bad. It shouldn't have happened. Are we going to cry about it? No, it's like I said, no one actually got hurt. So this is an issue of, wow, Pete, I guess don't do it again. Anyway, moving on. Instead, these people have talked about it for a month. Now, what I will say is Democrats, I think, are getting desperate to get off the Kilmar story. Even Senator Van Hollen has come out and said, no, this trip isn't about defending our Abrego Garcia. Uh-oh, the polls are coming in. They're starting to figure out that the American people don't want to hear that Democrats are defending criminals. And they are. American people want to hear how people are going to get how Congress will get prices down, how they'll get houses for Gen Z. I mean, Gen Z is thinking that. They're wondering how you're going to fix our economy and secure our nation, not whether or not you saved a violent wife-beating gang member. And they know it. So they've got to get off this story. So here we go. Pete Hegseth, Signalgate. Really? Is this the best you've got? Because holy crap, man. If this is the best you've got, I think Trump's got smooth sailing from here. Certainly, Trump has dropped in the polls on various metrics, the economy, trade, etc. Immigration, his polls are actually have gone down too, but remain above water at around 55% of the nation approving of his actions pertaining to immigration. Democrats know this, and so they're like, can we go back to Signalgate, I guess? Fine. Waste your time. Good luck. In the meantime, a bunch more Democrats are going down to El Salvador. It's not going to work. Well, I'll leave it there, my friends. Stay tuned. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. We got more segments coming up for you throughout the day, and we'll see you all in a little bit.